Hello, 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 and welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip La Cour. Thank you for joining me. If you're looking for information, inspiration for men with their fitness, now that you're a little bit older, you've got a busy, productive life. You need the process simplified. You have the desire, you have the need. You must take care of your fitness. You must make it a priority. It's just that you're confused with all this seemingly conflicting, confusing fitness information. You want to get it from one source. You want to get it from someone who is your age, living your lifestyle. Well, thank you for joining me here on Workouts for Older Men Live. I come to you often answering your questions. When you come on, say hello, hello, hello. That's our Workouts for Older Men Live greeting. Let me know if you're watching me live on Facebook or on YouTube. And post your comments, your questions, your suggestions in the comments section. I'll acknowledge you for being here and maybe your question. Maybe I'll get to it today. I'll answer it live with you watching here on your phone, or it will be the topic of our next Workouts for Older Men Live. Make sure you visit skiplacour.com. I have a whole library of videos there for you to answer any questions you may have. Really take a lot of time. Some of them are like a half hour. I really do it thoroughly. Some are about a few minutes. I know we're used to the 30-second videos and 1 minute videos. I got lots of those too. But if this is important to you, want to take it to the next level, it might be worth watching a 15-minute video on attacking your biggest challenges. Hello, Terry on Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. Santo, great talking to you today. Great job on the journey. Louisville, bravo. Think big, yes. Blast from the past, right? Still great. Yeah. Always timely. Hello, 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 Robert. Great having you here. All right, guys. Yeah, Norman. Hello, 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 Norman on Facebook. Sal from Oceanside. Sal, my sister lives in Oceanside. We love Oceanside. All right. My mother's down there too. And Sadala. I am awesome. Thank you so much for asking. Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk about good foods and bad foods to eat when you're a little bit older, right? Good foods and bad foods to eat when you're a little bit older. Now, let me kind of back up. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know how much I really emphasize the importance of your eating habits. Uh, it gets debated by the hardcore fitness people. They say, yeah, you'll hear things like the way you look, the way you feel, how you build muscle, how you lose body fat, your energy levels. 80% of this fitness journey is your eating habits. Now, sometimes that gets negated by the guys who like to make it overly complicated. They go, wow, you do 100 thing, you do everything 100%. Training, eating, everything's 100%. Nobody does everything 100%. All right, I deal with men all the time, smart men, and because they don't know how to weigh the difference, they're putting way too much importance in some things. Like you're 30 pounds overweight. I don't care what training routine you switch to, you take to another level, you're kicking butt in there. If you don't know the importance of nutrition, all the muscle that you're building, or you suppose that you have, you're never going to see. You got to get lean. That is done through your eating habits. You can't train, you can't build enough muscle to transform your physique. So everything isn't equal in importance. And so you hear me talk about nutrition all the time. Here's the challenge. When men hear that, a lot of smart men, they're ready to do the work, they get overwhelmed. They think, nutrition, it's so complicated. They think of all the different diets out there. They think, well, man, there's so many different diets. Which ones work? I got to find the exact diet for my body type, my goals, those type of things. They get overwhelmed easily, right? It's a tough thing to handle. Your eating habits are what you do every single day. That consistency. Again, it's the lifestyle choices, right? You have to do it, but what can you get away with? What can you not get away with? Guys just throw their hands up in the air. I don't have time for meal prep Sunday. Chicken and broccoli and brown rice. I got to carry my food around me. I got to stop and eat 6 meals a day. I can only eat certain foods, not very many carbs. All this miserable calorie deficit. How do you even figure out a calorie deficit? Am I in a calorie deficit? I don't want to starve. I got to have energy for my job, right? Can I ever eat cheap? I mean, immediately get overwhelmed. So much so they don't do anything. And again, even though they hear how important nutrition is, they just go back to relying on the workout, hoping that will take them through, right? Doesn't have to be that difficult. One thing is good foods versus bad foods is one of the first things, that they ask, right? Let me just tell you something. Like, this is what you have to understand again to get so you get in there and get to work, you be consistent on this important aspect of nutrition. And trust me, I know when I get on here, what I really should do is just talk about training, tell you everything I learned in 33 years, how to get that one more rep, how to hit that muscle, all these little tips. I know that's what you want to hear, but I want to get you to your goal. I want to tell you how it really works too. Maybe it's easier if I just had a lot of training, right? But I want to get you to that other side. All right. So what's really important is the amount of calories you eat, and you got to figure that out. Deficit. Let's just kind of skip that for right now. We can do a whole separate topic, or go to Skip La Cour. That'll talk about that, right? Can't eat too much, can't eat too little, and when you find that right amount, you got to be consistent with it, right? Here's the thing: as far as the macronutrients, it doesn't have to be as specific in the grams of macronutrients, the ratios, as a lot of men think, especially for what we're trying to do. We're not having a new hobby. We don't want to become some bodybuilder. We don't want to enter a contest someday. I don't even know those matter as much as the hardcore fitness people, fitness influencers, and competitive bodybuilders. And me doing that for so long, I don't even think it's as important as we think it is. All right. Certainly not important when you're older. You got a busy, productive life. You just want to be fit and healthy. All right. And look good, lose that body fat, build that muscle. All right. So the quality of food, you got to understand, as far as building muscle and losing body fat, that distinction between a good food and bad food, you know, that's more like what's healthy, what's going to help you live into your 115 or something, right? And all the science says, well, this is good for this and that and other, but it's more of a health thing rather than building muscle and losing body fat. Really, the food that you eat, and I'm not saying you should settle for eating whatever, but the food you eat, it comes to calories, protein, carbs, and fat. Now, I know you don't work out in the gym, you don't watch your diet and even watch these videos just to do things average. You want to feel good about the journey. You want to do it as close to everything right, as long as it's sustainable. So I get that. But to not get started or you're slowed down because you don't know what the good foods are or bad foods because you hear so many things, right? It's all about those calories, those protein, carbs, fat. Now, most older men who get it done, I would say at least 75% of the time, they eat uh, whatever someone might consider clean food, right? The whole foods, the vegetables, the chicken, the rice, less tasty, less sauces, right? They find a pattern. They do that at least 75% of the time. And that opens up where they can eat those not so healthy foods, right? Not so healthy foods 25% of the time. If you want to do it 100% of the time, that's just the way you do things. That's great as long as it's sustainable. 50-50. All right. As you good foods, bad foods. You'll also notice that, what's a good food, bad food? Man, that varies. A lot of people think like a soup and a Subway sandwich, a submarine sandwich, that's good food. Or mom's whole cooking is good food, right? Right. Where some people, it's got to be chicken, broccoli, and brown rice. So even that varies of what good food is. Uh, what are the good foods and bad foods? Some people might want to avoid cheese, right? For whatever reasons, right? Milk, fruit. A lot of men ask me, can I have fruit on my diet, right? You got to understand when people say categorize cheese or milk or fruit or something as a bad food. It's not that it harms you, not that when you have the right calories and the protein, carbs, and fat, and you're consistent, you exercise. What they really mean is that's not the most efficient food to eat, meaning you can get your protein, carbs, and fat from better, cleaner sources, right? So fruit, what's wrong with fruit, right? Well, they'll say that those type of carbs, that type of carbs, that there's a better way to get it. Instead of drinking milk, it's better to get your protein, carbs, fat, calories from more whole sources, making that bad. But again, that is the extreme thinking. All right, you got to understand, especially if you're getting overwhelmed and you're not starting. So I hope that clears that up about good foods, bad foods, when you're older, what's it going to take for you to build that muscle and lose that body fat? What's it going to take for you to live until you're 115 years old? Got to understand those distinctions or you'll never get started. If you want some one-on-one help, I give a lot of information on this internet. A lot of guys, they take it all in. They love the source. They love my energy. The coaching that I do, the one-on-one coaching, is so you take all these things that you learn and you actually do it. You don't just collect all this information. You put some pressure on yourself, all right, for a period of time. You're accountable to me. You've got skin in the game. We've got structure. You talk to me every single week. You've got assignments to do. So you can't blow it off and be inconsistent. Like, yeah, I'm pretty good. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. You're only going to find out if all these things are working is if you put yourself through a period of time where you're giving your all, so you can really see the variables and what isn't a variable. So if you just want to get this done with, you've got all this information, you've been training, a couple years or so, and you're used to doing things right, like your family and your business, and you want to apply it in the fitness. See, one-on-one coaching with me would be perfect for you. Go through 12 weeks and you'll have it for the rest of your life. Just the things that you need. And you can differentiate. You can sort through all this, what seems like misinformation. It's really just information of excess of the hardcore bodybuilders or fitness people that, look great, information that you don't need. And it's not that you're blowing off important stuff. It isn't even important to them. It's important for them to talk about, but that's not what's transforming their body. Just the organized principles, the basics, those little things, not making a big difference. It's all part of their package. It makes it something that isn't sustainable for you. So reach out to me. I'll post my information. Antonio, hello. Antonio on Facebook, 52, just lost 65 pounds and putting on muscle now. Love this journey. Awesome. Congratulations. Keep it up. I'm glad you're here. H HM Doc 261, you have a great physique. Are you natural? Yes, I am natural. I'm natural now. No steroids, no trend, no TRT. All right. And I've always been natural, no steroids, no trend, no TRT. Okay. I want to make that clear. Some guys, well, what's it matter? They'll say, it doesn't matter if you do that or not. It still takes a lot of hard work. Not saying it doesn't, but I mean, if just say TRT, if it didn't work, why would anybody use it? If it didn't help out the journey, why would anybody use it? Right. And I'm just telling you, for mental, emotional, as well as physical muscle building, you need to know what frame I come from. I make no judgment about what anybody does. I mean, we're big boys at this point. We can't figure out our own life without the approval of other people or worrying about the disapproval of other people. Man, we waste this. We waste our life, right? So I'm definitely, but giving to you straight how I do it, right? Hector, hello, hello, hello. All right, guys. All right, so reach out if you want that one-on-one coaching. Post questions, say hello, 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 even when you are watching the replay version. That's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older, right? We have more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great